Welcome to my world.
Build me up and break my trust.
I wanted to start a Let's Play, but I already had a world that I had been playing on stream. So what I thought would be a better idea so that we don't have to do all the boring grindy stuff is just give you guys a tour of what I already have and then start from there. A little bit about myself before we get going here. When I play the game, I like to do a lot of work off camera. Like, it would take me probably anywhere between 8 to 16 hours of gameplay to make a 10 to 15-minute video. And I really like that style because it cuts out all the boring stuff that nobody wants to see. Well, maybe some of you want to see that. I do a little bit of everything. I do some technical stuff, and I also like to build. This isn't the best example of it. This was just my starter house with, limited resources. But I do really enjoy the best of both, as you can tell. It's not going to be the longest world tour, but I am going to just go from one side to the other and show you everything. We got a little tiny villager breeder here. It barely serves its function because I've had to let out a ton of them, which is what this gap over here is for. I didn't actually set this one up proper like another one that I have. I also thought, what is my main goal of this? And in all honesty, there's a few of them, but the biggest one is to make a bunch of little cities. And this is just the start of one. There's going to be walls, there's going to be other towers. I'm going to have, a bunch of little buildings and random stuff like what you saw in the very beginning here. And I want to surround it by dense forest so that you feel like you're just locked in the city and there's nothing else. Like a almost Zelda-ish vibe where everything is just surrounded by trees and it's a mystical place. This is my first little starter house that I made. It's a little inset. I kind of like it. Just small base to get you going, And then what I did was I caught 2 of every animal, and they've gotten a little out of hand by now. I've actually expanded the cow pit because they kept escaping from the stupid glitch wherever. Long story short, I have a bunch of cows. Now this thing is, I believe this is Impulse's villager breeder, but it is broken. I did upgrade to the snapshot recently, and I've been enjoying it. I've got netherite and all that, but it's not functioning right, so I have to manually toss them food because for some reason, I don't know if it's a glitch or if it's just patched to where this doesn't work at all anymore. And right behind it, I've started a villager hall. I'm going to use the little exploit where they don't path on 2 carpets stacked up on each other. I think it's still in the game. I hope it's still in the game. But I made the door myself. Pretty proud of it. I use old school techniques like glowstone not transmitting redstone signal, and then also glowstone not blocking the redstone as it goes vertical. It's 3 ticks. I think it's not the shortest you could make, but it's pretty much instant. It is a severe work in progress. It doesn't look anything like it's going to right now. This is an old school mob farm. It was just a test. These spider iron string I just threw in here, but these were all made in it, and it does work as long as you have caves lit up and it's not nighttime. It's just not fast. I need to build a really big one using new mechanics pretty soon, just because I need a ton of gunpowder. I might even just make it a straight up creeper farm because I don't need any of the other resources that come out of it. This little bridge here was the next thing that I built after making that little starter hut. I was like, oh man, that looks like a cool area over there. I should really connect it so I don't have to swim across every time. And it's not good, and it's not done because I want to make a path, from my base area to where I'm going to start building everything. And then I was like, you know what every world needs? It needs way too much farm for you to actually want to harvest all the time. That's not automated just because, And this does help with villager trading and all that. This is what I built after all of that. This little house here. It's very square, very standard and ugly. Not really giving off a cool vibe or anything. Just something to get me started, you know, with a bunch of storage. The first redstone project that I did on here, it's not efficient, but it works. It's an automated sheep farm where I have one of every color of wool except brown, I think, because I just haven't gone out and gotten to a jungle. It works very well, just not, it's not efficient. I don't know. It gives me what I need, is what I'm trying to say. Whenever I made that first villager breeder over there, I ended up thinking, you know, I need a way to automatically get sugarcane, and you just heard it go off. It does work. This is probably like an hour's worth of sugarcane. I just emptied it. I emptied it an hour ago before I started this, and that's what we got in like maybe 8 hours of playing the game. So it's not the fastest because it's not the biggest, but it does give me sugarcane without me having to harvest it. And no world is complete without an iron farm. This is the newest design. It gives really good iron output. I emptied this not long ago at all. Maybe even 30 minutes. I did end up making an automatic bone meal thing out of it, just with a little item filter and a composter. So that, I'm going to add that to each of these. This quarter over here actually does not work at all. I don't know why, but whenever it's nighttime, the villagers go into their bed and they spawn on the edge. And I've tried everything. I originally had glass where those half slabs are up there, where the original design calls for it, and it works a little bit better, but it's still just, I don't know why, it just does not keep the villagers in. It could be a glitch with the direction or that specific block. I had the fletching table there originally, so I was like, okay, maybe it's the fletching table. I swapped it out with the smithing table. I think it's just where they are or the direction that they're supposed to spawn back on the block. Down here is your standard haste 2 efficiency 5 mining area. We don't really need to go down there, you know what it looks like. But I do have a cactus farm, which is my recent project. I'm going to put a skin on this because you need to put a wall around it anyway. I'm going to make it look like the old school cactus texture, not this new one. You see the new one compared. Here, I'll show you the old one actually real quick. I'd much rather make it look like this compared to what it was. I don't know why, I just like the older texture, probably a nostalgic thing. I have been playing this game for over 8 years, and they've recently done the new art, and I'm not the biggest fan of the new art. Started recently harvesting bee honey. I didn't realize, you know, the 1.15 update was so cool because I never looked into it. But the honey blocks are basically slime blocks with a few other features, and I really like that. So I'm going to automate this really soon, maybe get that done in the next episode along with the cactus farm or something like that, or maybe even just start working on another tower for that entrance to that cool first city that I'm going to have. We were talking about how I have a bunch of goals in this world, and my second goal is to get a chest full of pretty much every item. I'm talking even nether stars, ancient debris, and netherite and all that, which is going to take forever. But I am working on prettying this place up. It's going to turn out really nice whenever I'm done with it. And I think the last thing on the tour is just what I have done in the nether, which is pretty much nothing. I just want to show you the new area that I've mined out and got all my netherite from. So here we are. I had to go a decently long way to get the new 1.16 chunks, but yeah, I've been hard at work down here finding netherite. Some of these tunnels go an extremely long way. These ones don't. I think they ran into lava. But I have automatic smelters here for nether brick and XP. Just, you know, may as well make the most of it while I'm down here. I've only found enough netherite for my sword and my pick, and then I think I have like 2 more ancient debris up at the base. I do have a nether fortress off in that direction somewhere, and I want to make a wither skeleton farm, but I'm not entirely sure, you know, how the new mobs are going to affect that. So I'm going to have to wait to see if there's any new exploits that have to be implemented into the farm or not, and, you know, all that jazz. And with that, that was the end of everything that I've done here. You know, I've gone to the end and all that, but I haven't put anything there. So, you know, next episode, I would like to automate the honey, maybe finish up the cactus farm, make it look pretty, and possibly even start to work on our first city around here, which I think is the perfect area for it. So if you have any questions or suggestions on what to do, I would love to hear about it. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.